Welcome to SPASRO. Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we will see about Venus and Ketu in 3rd house. In astrology, the placement of Venus and Ketu, the south node of the moon, in the 3rd house of a natal chart can have various implications and influences on a person's life. However, it's important to remember that a complete astrological analysis takes into account the entire birth chart, including the positions of other planets, aspects, and the individual's unique circumstances. Here's a general overview of what Venus and Ketu in the 3rd house might signify. 1. Communication and relationships. Venus represents love, relationships, and harmony, while the 3rd house is associated with communication, siblings, and immediate surroundings. When Venus is in the 3rd house, it can indicate a person who communicates with grace and charm. They may have a pleasant and diplomatic way of expressing themselves. They could have a harmonious relationship with their siblings and neighbors. 2. Artistic communication. Venus is also linked to creativity and artistry. Having Venus in the 3rd house can suggest that the individual may have a natural talent for writing, speaking, or other forms of artistic expression. They might be drawn to creative writing, poetry, or other forms of self-expression. 3. Social connections. Venus is a social planet, and its presence in the 3rd house may indicate that the person enjoys socializing with their immediate community. They could have many friends and acquaintances in their neighborhood or among their siblings. 4. Ketu's influence. Ketu, on the other hand, is a shadowy planet associated with spiritual growth and liberation. When Ketu is in the 3rd house, it may bring a sense of detachment or eccentricity to the way the person communicates. They may have unconventional or unique ideas and perspectives. 5. Challenges in sibling relationships. Depending on the aspects and other factors in the chart, Venus and Ketu in the 3rd house could indicate some challenges or unusual dynamics in sibling relationships. There might be a sense of detachment or distance from siblings, or the relationships could be marked by a spiritual or karmic connection. 6. Learning and education. The 3rd house is also associated with learning and education. Venus here may suggest a love for learning and a preference for subjects related to the arts, aesthetics, or social sciences. The individual may be charming and persuasive in their approach to education. Remember that the interpretation of any astrological placement is highly dependent on the overall context of the birth chart. The signs that Venus and Ketu are in, as well as any aspects they make to other planets, will also influence how these energies manifest in an individual's life. It's always a good idea to consult with a professional astrologer for a more detailed and personalized analysis of your birth chart. Certainly, here are some additional insights into what Venus and Ketu in the 3rd house of a natal chart may signify. 7. Curiosity and learning style. The 3rd house is associated with curiosity and learning, and with Venus here, the individual may have a gentle and aesthetic approach to acquiring knowledge. They might be drawn to learning about art, culture, beauty, and social etiquette. They may also be excellent communicators, using their charm to convey their ideas effectively. 8. Artistic expression through communication. With Venus in the 3rd house, there is a potential for artistic expression through writing, speaking, or other forms of communication. This placement may inspire the person to become a poet, novelist, journalist, or public speaker. They could have a talent for using language to convey beauty and harmony. 9. Social harmony. Venus often brings a sense of harmony and diplomacy to the areas of life it influences. In the 3rd house, this can manifest as a person who tries to maintain peace and harmony in their immediate environment. They may excel at resolving conflicts and fostering positive relationships within their community. 10. Aesthetic surroundings. People with Venus in the 3rd house may have a strong desire to create aesthetically pleasing surroundings in their home or neighborhood. They might enjoy decorating, landscaping, or beautifying their immediate environment. 11 Challenges with detachment. Ketu's presence in the third house can bring a sense of detachment or otherworldliness to the way the person communicates. They may struggle with grounding their ideas or may have unconventional beliefs and perspectives. It's important for them to strike a balance between their spiritual or detached side and the practical aspects of life. 12 Karmic relationships. The presence of Ketu often points to karmic influences in the chart. When in the third house, it may suggest that the person has karmic lessons or connections related to communication, siblings, and their immediate surroundings. They may need to work through past life issues in these areas. 13 Travel and short journeys. The third house is also associated with short journeys and local travel. With Venus here, the person may have a love for travel, especially to beautiful and culturally rich places. They might enjoy short trips for leisure and social interactions. 14 Balancing the rational and emotional. Venus represents emotions and relationships, while the third house is more rational and intellectual. Individuals with this placement may need to find a balance between their emotional and intellectual sides. They might be prone to overthinking or intellectualizing their feelings. As always, it's essential to consider the entire birth chart and the unique aspects of each person's life when interpreting astrological placements. The influence of Venus and Ketu in the third house can vary significantly depending on other factors in the chart, such as the signs they are in and any aspects they form with other planets. Consulting with a professional astrologer can provide you with a more personalized and detailed analysis. Certainly, here are some additional insights into Venus and Ketu in the third house. 15 Harmonious sibling relationships. Venus in the third house often indicates a harmonious and pleasant relationship with siblings, as well as cousins or close relatives. The individual may share common interests and enjoy spending time with their brothers and sisters. They are likely to have a friendly and loving communication style with family members. 16 Charm in communication. Venus in the third house can make the person's communication style charming and persuasive. They have the ability to win people over with their pleasant words and social grace. This charm can be an asset in negotiations, public speaking, or any profession that involves effective communication. 17 Artistic hobbies. People with this placement may have artistic hobbies and interests related to communication. They might be passionate about writing, poetry, music, or other forms of artistic expression that involve words. These creative pursuits can bring them a sense of fulfillment and joy. 18 Social networking. Venus in the third house often indicates a strong interest in social networking and building connections within the local community. They may have a wide circle of friends and acquaintances, and they enjoy participating in social events and gatherings. 19 Conflict avoidance. Due to Venus's desire for harmony, individuals with this placement may avoid confrontations and conflicts in their immediate environment. They prefer to maintain a peaceful atmosphere and may go to great lengths to resolve disputes amicably. 20 Karmic evolution. Ketu's presence in any house suggests a karmic lesson or spiritual evolution related to that area of life. In the third house, this could imply that the person has past life karmic ties or unresolved issues related to communication, learning, and siblings. They may need to confront and transcend these karmic patterns in this lifetime. 21 Interest in spiritual and mystical topics. Ketu often inclines individuals towards spirituality and mysticism. With Ketu in the third house, the person may have a natural interest in esoteric subjects, metaphysics, or spiritual practices that involve communication, such as meditation or mantra chanting. 22 Detached intellectual pursuits. Ketu's influence can sometimes lead to a more detached and unconventional approach to intellectual pursuits. The person may question traditional beliefs and may have a unique perspective on matters related to communication and education. 23 Travel and exploration. The third house is associated with short journeys, and the presence of Venus and Ketu here may indicate a love for travel and exploration. These individuals may be drawn to travel for pleasure, adventure, or spiritual experiences. It's important to reiterate that a complete astrological analysis should consider the entire birth chart, including the positions of all planets, aspects, and the individual's unique life circumstances. Astrology is a complex and multifaceted system, and interpretations can vary based on the specifics of each chart. Consulting with a professional astrologer can provide you with a more personalized and accurate reading.